Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to this thing called Irontribe. It's a little workout facility, kind of like CrossFit. And we're gonna be going and checking that out, seeing how we do. It's been a few days since I've worked out, since I've arrived here in Nashville, and I've been eating a ton of pies and cakes and just food and total gluttony. It's been amazing, but you need to kind of get it back in gear here. So we're gonna do that. And then we're hitting up with some friends, and then we're gonna talk a little about some fitness tips that I have for fat loss, some things to keep in mind to make sure that you guarantee yourself optimal fat loss and crush it here this year with your fitness goals. Here we go. Jack. Hey, Jack. Shay. Hey, Shay.
Just literally right in front. Aspen. Oh, there he is. He's moved. Hello. He just has no fear of a car. Probably because I'm always so careful, and he's like, yeah, she's not. Hi, Aspen.
Okay, so I'm very excited about trying out Irontribe for the first time. Never done it before, but as you see as I walk in, it's basically set up very much like a CrossFit facility with very minimal equipment, just some row machines, pull-up bars, dumbbells, and bicycles. I didn't get a chance to actually record my workout today, but here in a second, I'm going to be walking over to the breakdown of the workout. So make sure that you take a screen capture of this workout so you can try it out. But today's workout was called a push workout. Basically involved some dumbbell rows, chest flies, row pulls, running, and some dumbbell snatches. All right, hey, what's up guys? So today I want to talk about 5 tips that I think will help you succeed with any fitness goal that you have. So this is whether you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build muscle, or anything in between. But if you have a goal in fitness, I can promise you that these 5 tips will make a massive difference in your ability to achieve success. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because I have so many clients that come to me that have tried all these different things. They have a goal, they're trying all these strategies, and yet for some reason they can't seem to get it to click. You know, whether it's that it's not the right strategy for them, or they have a hard time just following through long term, because that's a big thing too. You know, they do it for a little bit, maybe a few weeks, few months, but they end up falling off. They end up losing a lot of the results that they got before. But I want to talk about the 5 things that are really going to help you not only find the right strategy for you, but also help you follow through for the next 10, 20, 30 years. Number 1, you have to have fun. Now this seems pretty rudimentary, seems pretty basic, but I cannot tell you how many times I talk to clients or I talk to people who have a strategy that they don't like. But the reason they do it is because they think, well, because such and such actor or actress or athlete or whatever, that's what they did and they got super jacked or super shredded. And so I want to do it too because I want to get really jacked or shredded or whatever their goal is. I want to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds. Though you have to understand that fitness is a game of psychology. It's not about intensity, but it's about, long-term commitment, long-term follow through. That's where most of your success is going to come. So if you don't enjoy the workouts that you're doing, how on earth are you going to be able to commit to that for the next 10, 20, 30 years? That's the question I always tell people. That's the first thing you got to ask yourself. Is this something that I can do for 10, 20, 30 years down the road here? And if it's not, then you need to get rid of it. So in order to do that, you have to have fun. It has to be something you enjoy. You need to understand too that there's no one workout, there's no one nutrition program that is the only way to achieve the results that you want. There are an endless amount. And so if you can find one that you enjoy, that you have fun with, it makes it a lot easier to follow through. Because think about it. Anything that you enjoy, you don't have to psych yourself up. You don't have to get all motivated and say hey, I want to get this done. But what you can do is if you find the one that you really enjoy, it makes it a lot easier each day to wake up and say, hey, I'm going to get my workout on because this is something that I really enjoy. So number 1, you have to have fun with it. So whatever you're doing, make sure you have fun. Number 2, be flexible. Listen, I don't know how many times I talk to people who find a strategy that maybe they actually even enjoy, but the problem is they're so rigid in the strategy that they don't understand there's actually flexibility in achieving results that you want for yourself. So let me give you an example. You know, I have John over here who calls me up and says, hey, like, I'm having a hard time getting results. You know, it's like, I found this program, I love it, it's a lot of fun, and I developed this eating strategy, and I know it works because I've seen so many people that it works for, and I don't necessarily mind it, but I have a hard time following through with it. And so I start digging through and realize that, like, hey, your problem isn't the strategy that you have, your problem is the lack of flexibility. So let's say that, for instance, your strategy is like, hey, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. In order to do that, I'm gonna work out 5 days a week at the gym. I'm gonna lift weights, I'm gonna do all this stuff, and I enjoy this, it's great. And then I'm also going to meal prep all my meals, and I'm gonna do all this stuff. Very effective. And it's definitely a strategy that would actually work. Here's the problem though. You know, John or whoever wakes up, you know, their goal is on Sundays when they go to the grocery store, they start meal prepping. They go to the grocery store, they buy their foods, and they meal prep all day for the week. But what happens when, you know, something happens over the weekend, or their buddies call them up and they didn't get a chance to go to the gym, or maybe they had, you know, obligations with their family, whatever, something came up and they didn't get a chance to go to the grocery store. Well, now they don't have a strategy for the week because they don't have food that they could meal prep. You have to understand that there are a million ways to get to the destination that you want. Okay, it's like saying, let's say you're going to do a road trip, wherever you're at, and you're going to get ready to drive to the next place that's like 2-3 hours away. And so you type it into the GPS, and it has you get on the local highway or freeway, and that's like the main road you're going to take. Well, if you were to get 10 minutes down the road and all of a sudden there's like a road closure because they're doing construction on the highway, or there's a major traffic accident and everything's blocked and everybody's turning around, you wouldn't say, well, it looks like I can't get to my destination now. You know, the road's blocked, so I guess we're gonna turn around and go home. It's like, no, the GPS would reroute you. It'd say, oh, hey, let's do this. Why don't you get off on this exit, take some side streets for 10, 15, 20 minutes or so many miles down the road, and when we can, we'll hop back on the freeway. Well, that is how your program or the routine that you're doing, that is how your system should be. You should allow for flexibility. So you need to have foresight into all the roadblocks that could potentially occur with you in your follow through for the program or routine that you're having. So let's say your goal, your strategy is that you're going to go to the gym 5 times a week and you're going to meal prep. Okay, well, what happens when you can't get to the gym? What's your backup strategy? Have a strategy for working out at home. And then also have a strategy for what if something comes up and you only have 10 or 15 minutes? You don't have an hour to devote to working out. I know you have 10 minutes. So have a strategy for what happens when I can't get to the gym. I don't have a time to work out for an hour at home. I got 15 minutes. Have a strategy for that too. When it comes to your nutrition, same thing. I mean, have your normal routine if I'm going to meal prep all these meals, do all that, but then have backup strategies. Have a strategy that is simply grab and go prepackaged items that you know will still help you hit your caloric goals, your macro goals, whatever it is. And then also have another backup routine for if you don't have those. You know, maybe you couldn't meal prep because of whatever reason, and then you went to go grab your typical packaged items, but you realize that you already ate through all of them. But then also have an eating out strategy. You know, if those two don't work, have a strategy where it's like, hey, you know what? I'm eating out today. This is my strategy. The more strategy and flexibility that you have, the more likely you are to continue to follow through with the goals that you have. The third one is it has to be time effective and time efficient. So make sure it's time efficient and time effective. Hey, how's it going? Hello. So it has to be time effective and it has to be time efficient. Listen, part of some people's problems is that when they have a goal they're trying to do, they develop a strategy, but the strategy itself is just not realistic. You know, it requires them to be at the gym multiple hours a day. and it requires like hours of food prep that they just don't have. Like they don't have that kind of lifestyle, which is a little hint into the fifth one. But make sure your strategy is time effective and time efficient. I deal with a lot of corporate executives, people who are really busy people. They don't have time to spend 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday meal prepping. And they definitely don't have time 4 or 5 days out of the week to spend 2 and 3 hours at the gym. Okay, your strategy should be time efficient and time effective. Make sure that you're doing the most effective things in the shortest amount of time. Now, it doesn't mean be lazy. I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm talking about being effective. There are plenty of workouts you can do for hours and hours, but who has that time? Now, if you do, that's great. So this isn't for you, but just make sure it's time efficient and time effective. All right, so number 4, it has to be centered around foods you love. Okay, this kind of goes back a little bit to the flexibility thing, but I have so many clients that I coach that come to me who did a diet and actually had great success, but they ended up gaining all the way back, especially when it comes to like keto. I don't know how many people I've had that came to me and was like, hey, I did the keto diet and it was great. I lost like 20, 30 pounds in 4 months and I was super excited. And then once I started eating carbs again, I gained it all back plus some. Once again, you have to ask that question, is this something I can do for the next 10, 20, 30 years? And if that answer is no, then it's not a strategy for you. You need to make sure that on a psychological level that you're eating foods that you crave. Incorporate those guilty pleasures. You see so many people have this idea that, in order to get fit, in order to get healthy, or in order to lose weight or build muscle, like you have to eat super clean and nothing but pure healthy foods. You got to cut out all the sugar, you got to cut out fast food, all these things. From a health standpoint, sure, that's great. But for simply achieving fat loss, for achieving muscle gain, you can still incorporate any food. With my clients, I always teach 0 food restrictions. So I tell them like, what are foods that you crave? For some it's burgers and fries, some it's pizza, some it's ice cream, chocolate chip cookies, brownies, whatever. But I find foods that they crave and I make sure that we incorporate those deliberately into the week. Now, why is that? That's because I'm trying to break the psychological barrier of you have to deprive yourself of things in order to achieve results. And these people still achieve great results. And by doing that, it helps them understand that, hey, I can still live my life. I can still eat foods that I like and achieve my goals. And it makes it so much easier to do this long term. If you're eating all the foods that you like, it doesn't become a problem to do this for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And like we've said, it's about consistency. The more consistent you can be over the next few decades, the better the results you're going to have. So make sure it's centered around foods that you love to eat. Now, the last one, which kind of incorporates a few of these together and it kind of combines, but make sure it's lifestyle friendly. I cannot tell you how many people try to drastically alter life in order to achieve a goal. Like they're really busy people, but they have this result that they want. And so they start developing a strategy that's a very effective strategy that works. But the problem is that they're altering their life too drastically. What's up?
Hi.
Hi. Practicing?
Mm-hmm. You have a booger in your nose. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. Apparently I have a booger in my nose.
It's too loud. You say there's a booger in your nose.
Whatever.
Love you.
Hopefully I don't see it. Yeah, my nose down. All right. Anyways, but make sure it's lifestyle friendly. The problem that people have is that they have this strategy that they want to do, and it's super effective, but they can't commit to it because it's just is not lifestyle conducive. It's like, for an example, you get a busy executive who is constantly traveling and who is constantly having to do long hours at work. Maybe they work 12 hours a day sometimes. And say hello to Sadie. Hey, Sadie. But they work 12 hours a day and their strategy involves 2-hour plus workouts and it requires them to spend 4 hours on Sunday meal prepping. Listen, you don't have time for that. And so maybe they try for a little bit and they try to like change their schedule around and alter things to like, hey, this is important, I want to commit to this. But here's the thing, like you might be able to do it for a little bit, but it's just not going to happen long term. If your lifestyle doesn't actually doesn't allow you to do certain strategies, then don't commit to them. Find a strategy that is completely in line with what you're already doing so that you're not having to go out of your way in order to achieve things. Yes, you may have to do it slightly, okay? So, you do have to work out. So, whether it's at home or in the gym, you have to cut a little bit of time. But it's that you don't have to completely alter like half a day. Like, okay, I got to stop taking clients on the evenings because I'm trying to work out now. Or like, I got to block this out. I got to cut out time with family because Sundays now is all my meal prep day. Whatever it is. But you get the point. But listen, guys, these 5 things completely will change your ability to succeed. What you're going to find in fitness and in life is that your success is not going to come through intensity, but it's going to come through consistency. The reason why so many people yo-yo is because they have all this stuff, they work super hard, they try, they work really hard for a few weeks and they fall off because of any of those 5 reasons we just talked about. Then they quit for months and months and months. They gain all their weight back or they just have less progress. Then they're like, oh crap, I gotta get back on it. Stay consistent. You're better off just spending 2-3 days a week working out, but being consistent with it over the next couple decades. Anyways, I hope this video helped you out. Make sure you like it. Hit the subscribe button if you can. It means the world to me. I want to continue to provide as much value to you guys as possible to help you achieve new levels in your fitness, in your psychology, in your finances, whatever it may be. But I want to help you perform at a higher level. So make sure you check out some of my other videos. I cannot wait to hear from you. So leave comments below with any questions that you have. I'll message back and we'll see you next time.